Bodacious travel trivia tonight. I'm sorry, we are doing Bodacious women's trivia tonight. Guess I used to saying travel. Sorry about that. Hi, my name is Gayle, and welcome to my channel. Well, it is International Women's Day, so if you're a woman, clap your hands and give yourself a round of applause. You need it. You deserve it, and that's part of what International Women's Day is all about. So, woo! Hi and welcome. So, little few things here. My name is Gayle, and I want you to welcome to my channel, where we're all about not letting life get in the way of living. And so that means that whatever happens, you're going to find a way to integrate it and just live the most you can. Myself, I'm dealing with foot drop and a few other health issues, and I have an amazing service dog, Pipsy, and I have an amazing new service dog, Sir Fluffy. We are still getting used to working together. I just got him in October, but they may, make an appearance. We'll see. You never know. But International Women's Day is celebrated on March 8th, and it commemorates the women's fight for equality and liberation along with the women's rights movement. It's international, and it focuses on things like gender equality, eliminating domestic violence, healthcare, and things like that. So the earliest version reported was Women's Day was in New York City in 1909. Can you believe that? That's been a while. I'm going to pop this link over here in the chat so you all can check it out later if you choose to. And here we go. And I think you saw Sir Fluffy coming in behind me. Hello, Sir Fluffy. So we're going to talk about some bodacious women. Are you all ready for that? For the Bodacious Women trivia. I cannot talk tonight that we're doing tonight. Little bit about International Women's Day is on the link that I just posted. It started in 1909. Wow, it just blows my mind because this seems like such a modern thing, right? Kind of like Mother's Day, which is kind of modern, but no. So it's really interesting. And I have a list of women through the ages that we're going to talk about. And I'm going to post a link after the live stream where you can go and you can download the list and see if you can stump your friends. And I want you to dive in with the answers. And if you're not sure about something, dive in with that too, okay? So let's go. Sir Fluffy is making some odd noises back here. He is squeezing his ball. Hey, Busy Lady is in the house. Hi, Busy Lady. I'm okay. How are you doing? I'm just on adrenaline tonight. I don't even know why. Okay. So if these stump you, let me know. We've got a few people that have popped in and out. That's fine. You are welcome to stay and check us out. But I understand not every live stream is for every person, so that's okay too. We just thank you for coming in. Hey, congratulations. That is wonderful news. Now, if you all are not familiar with Busy Lady, she's one of the bodacious women here who moderate the live stream. So let me see if I can pull up her channel right quick, because it's a cool channel, especially if you like cooking and you like chickens. And I see that she's got a margarita pizza going on, which is delicious. We just had pizza last night for dinner. It wasn't margarita, though. We missed our chance. But here's her channel. If you want to go check her out, you can see some amazing things that she's done. She has a lot of shorts. She has some videos. Just some really great stuff here. And she's up to 600 subs. So if we could get her up to 1K, she could be monetized. So if you want to help her, that would be a bodacious thing to do. Yeah. So thank you, Busy. Hopefully, you'll pick up somebody from this. I hope so. All right. Oh, you're welcome. Okay, she needs 3,000 watch hours now. She only has like 400. It'll happen. it'll happen. I thought mine was never going to happen, but it did. And, it's not I don't make a lot of money on this. It's about $40, $50 a month, but it still helps. So, yay. Yeah, no problem. All right. Questions. Which scientist became the first woman to win a Nobel Prize and later won a second Nobel Prize in chemistry? Who might it have been? I can give you some choices, but I think you're going to get it. I think you're going to get it. So which scientist became the first woman to win a Nobel Prize and later won a second Nobel Prize in chemistry? That would be none other than Marie Curie. What are you doing? I don't know what he's doing. So if y'all can figure it out, God bless you. But this is Marie Curie. She won a Nobel Prize. I believe it was in 1909. Maybe it was 1903, but she got the second one in 1911. Let me pull this up and just make sure I remember what year. Dun, dun, dun. My computer is going slow tonight. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. I'm going to share this screen. Hi and welcome to everyone who's in. Don't forget to give me a like on the video, please. 1903, Nobel Prize in Physics with her husband. And then 1911 for the discovery of the elements radium and polonium. I didn't even know about polonium. I'm going to have to go look that up. I'm going to tell you what. Let's see, tentatively called radium F, it was discovered by Marie and Pierre Curie in 1898 and was named after Marie Curie's native land of Poland. Wow, that's nice. So that's how they got the name. And I'm going to go ahead and put her link in the chat room, chat box, so you all can check her out. Marie Curie. Here we go. And I have to say that this surprised me because I never thought about, never knew a woman won twice on the Nobel Prize. Did you all? If you did, let me know. Okay. So the next one is easy. You all have to get this. Like legit, you have to get this. Which pioneering woman became the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean? Was it Mae West? I'm going to give you some choices this time. Was it Mae West, Jacqueline Cochran, or Amelia Earhart? Who could it be? Jacqueline Cochran, Mae West, or Amelia Earhart? Okay, if you all answered anything except Amelia Earhart, I would be surprised because she obviously is the first one to fly solo. And they are still looking for her, as far as I know, from what I could research. Look it up online to get ready for this. So, Amelia Earhart. Now, this is fun, and I think you're going to like this one. Do I have any Western history buffs in the house? If I do, this one is for you. Western history buff. Here we go. Which famous sharpshooter starred in Buffalo Bill's Wild West show and was nicknamed Little Sure Shot? I'm going to repeat that. Which famous sharpshooter starred in Buffalo Bill's Wild West show and was nicknamed Little Sure Shot? Ooh, who could it be? Who could it be? Was it Jacqueline Cochran, Louisa May Alcott, or Annie Oakley? Who could it be? Okay, I'm going to repeat this one more time. Which famous sharpshooter starred in Buffalo Bill's Wild West show and was nicknamed Little Sure Shot? That would be none other than Annie Oakley. Annie Oakley. This show, and I'm going to pull up her link here. She was an American markswoman and often known as Little Sure Shot. Her real name was Phoebe Ann Mosley. Now, I don't blame her for going with Annie Oakley. As a child, she hunted game and did a whole lot of things. This was a time when women were not expected to work outside of the home, except maybe in a couple of different, like teaching and maybe another profession we won't talk about here. But at 15, she won a sharpshooting contest and was able to make enough money hunting that she paid off her family's mortgage. Can you believe that? Yeah. So I'm going to put her link down in the chat. I just thought that's okay. Busy lady is multitasking. We'll get you. That's fine. Don't you worry about it. So, all right. Annie Oakley. Now, today we would all be surprised if by age 15 or any teen, if a child could pay off their family's mortgage. So that was one of the things that I thought was really, really interesting about her. And then she joined the show. She was one of the star attractions for years. And all of this information is in the link that I just posted. And we can share the screen so y'all can see it. Ta-da! Oh, and I forgot she was on vaudeville too. Vaudeville. When she was 15, she won a shooting match in Cincinnati with Frank Butler. Frank Butler was the vaudeville marksman. Okay. They were married. Yep, they did both do it. Okay, known as Butler and Oakley. She took her professional name from a Cincinnati suburb. In April 1885, Annie Oakley was now being managed by her husband, joined Buffalo Bill Cody's Wild West show, billed as Miss Annie Oakley. Ta-da! The Peerless Lady Wingshot. So I thought she was just a really fascinating woman. And when I was doing the research for this, I was like, we have got to include her because it's really neat. Yeah. Oh, great. I'm invited a couple of friends here. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate everybody. Don't forget, give me a like on the live stream, please. Shout it out, share it. All of that is great stuff. Subscribe, of course, if you haven't already done so. Okay. We're going on a little bit further in history. One of my most intriguing to me people, on the list of people in heaven that you might want to meet and talk to, this lady is on it just because she was so odd for her time. We're going back to the Middle Ages, to the 100 Years' War. Yep, 100 Years' War. Which teenage French girl led the troops during the 100 Years' War and later became a Catholic saint? Now, this woman faced a big trial about her Christianity, and you can still find those transcripts online from that trial back in the Middle Ages. That to me is just wow. But you can look them up. You can find them. You can Bing them or Google them. Oh, thank you. I'm bad with history. I live in the present. There's a lot to be said for that. But when I say this woman's name, you are going to go, oh, I could have guessed that. And so we're talking about none other than Joan of Arc. Yep, Joan of Arc. Yes, applause, applause. Led during the 100 Years' War. I'm going to pull this up and share this screen too, so you all can find out more about this bodacious broad. There you go. Born in 1412, she died in 1431, so she was still very, very young. Canonized in 1920. She has a feast day, May 30th, and is a national heroine of France. She was a peasant girl who believed that she was acting under God's direction, God's leading, to lead the army. Now, the fact that anybody would put an army under the leadership of a teenage girl, to me, is just really surprising. And she actually led them to victory more than once, Orleans. And, you know, it's just read about her. Just read about her. She's fascinating. I'm going to put this link down in the chat so y'all can check it out if you want to later. I just think she's a fascinating person. Actually, I think all of these are fascinating. That's why I chose them. So there you go. And that link was Britannica, by the way, just so you know. Okay. Whoops. I'm going to start marking these off so I don't hit the same ones twice. Because y'all know me, I may hit the same ones twice, 3 times, 5 times, you know, because it's just me. Okay. Now we're coming a little bit closer to modern day. Okay. This is an actress. She was known to be a little controversial, just a little bodacious. She was a singer. She was an actress. She was a comedian. She actually got in trouble for some of her work being a little bit too risque. She was on vaudeville. She was in New York City. She was in film in LA, and controversies over censorship. And she once stated that she believed in censorship because she'd made a lot of money at it. So, which actress and writer became famous for her wit and once said, "When I'm good, I'm very good. But when I'm bad, I'm even better"? Who said that? Was it Audrey Hepburn, Jocelyn Burnell, or Mae West? When you think about what kind of bodacious personality this person had, you'll get it. So Audrey Hepburn, Jocelyn Burnell, or Mae West? Anybody? It is Mae West. Woo! Mae West. And I'm going to pull her up because I think that she sets, when we're talking about bodacious women, I think that she set the bar. So let me get this in here. I'm going to put the link in here. That was a good guess. Busy Ladies guessed Audrey Hepburn, and that was a good guess. She was a little bit controversial too. We're actually going to be talking about her in a few minutes. All right, now. There we go. So, Mae West biography. Born Mary Jane West, became a Hollywood sensation in her late 80s. Not a spring chicken. Noted for her daring roles, and memorable quotes. Career was marked by both success and controversy as she navigated the cultural mores of her time. Celebrated for her bold and brash on screen persona, was not just a talented actress, but a playwright, which a lot of people didn't know, a screenwriter, and a director. So, not bad for a lady and not bad for a woman who was good at breaking those barriers. And if you can imagine breaking into Hollywood when you're in your 80s, that's one of the things that intrigued me about her because you just don't hear about that. And but yet there she did. That's when her career took off. So see, we can do it. I'm going to put a second link down there because I wasn't sure the first one posted. Oh, good, it did. All right. Yeah, the incomparable Mae West. They even shut down her show once. All because she was breaking some sort of moral code at the time. Yeah, how's that for crazy? Okay, so, oops, watch me drop this. Okay, now, I'm a Southern gal, so I had to include a couple of Southern gals on my list here. That's just the way it works. So, y'all, Southern gal number one. Which country singer from Kentucky became famous for the autobiographical hit song Coal Miner's Daughter? Was it Dolly Parton, Loretta Lynn, or Louisa May Alcott? We'll go again. Which country singer from Kentucky became famous for the autobiographical hit song Coal Miner's Daughter? Dolly Parton, Louisa May Alcott, or Loretta Lynn? Who might it be? This really isn't a trick question, but it is going to make you think for a second. Bum, 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 bum. No idea, Busy Lady says. Okay. So it is. Dun, 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 dun. Loretta Lynn. Loretta Lynn, Coal Miner's Daughter, is the name of the song. And she is a Grammy-winning singer, songwriter, and she has done a lot of different work. So let me put this in. Now, she was born a coal miner's daughter. She was born in Kentucky, literally rose from nothing to something. She became a member of the Country Music Hall of Fame. She's acted, she's sung, she has written the songs, just all around package there. So, and it says she was born, I'm going to pull this up. Hey, Busy got it. Good for you. Yay for Busy. I thought this might not be too hard. Yeah, I figured that it would be a toss-up that people might get Loretta Lynn and Dolly Parton confused just because they're both Southern women. But I felt like a lot of people know that Dolly is from Tennessee. So anyway, here we go. Loretta Webb was her original name. Butcher Holler in Kentucky. Grew up in a small cabin in a poor Appalachian mining community. Second of 8 children. Began singing in church. Her younger sister, Brenda Gayle Webb, also developed a love for singing, and she became known as Crystal Gayle. Married Oliver Lynn in 1948 and moved around some and continued to go back to her music roots. So became friends with Patsy Cline, this says. There's just a lot of good information on this link. And yeah, I hope you guys will check her out. You know, I really had a hard time choosing which ladies because they were all, I mean, everybody on this list to me is intriguing. Of course, I made the list out, so I can say that, right? Okay. This one might stump you, and that's okay because I put some on here that are a little less known. Okay. But let's see here. Here we go. I'm getting this link ready because I'm going to be sharing it. Okay. All right. Which American pilot? Oh, a busy lady said she made a lucky guess. There you go. That works too. That works too. Okay. Which American pilot set numerous aviation records and was known as the First Lady of Flight? Was it Amelia Earhart, Jacqueline Cochran, or Jocelyn Bell Burnell? This one's a little harder. I don't think that this woman is as well known. So it's either Amelia Earhart, Jacqueline Cochran, or Jocelyn Bell Burnell. Okay, any ideas? All right, I'm just going to go ahead and give it to you all. It is Jacqueline Cochran. Jacqueline Cochran. And we're going to go over so you can learn a little bit more about her. No, go away. This is from the National Air and Space Museum. That's where this link is from. She became the first woman to fly faster than the speed of sound, which was a huge undertaking. She was born in 1953, held more speed, altitude, and distance records than any other pilot, male or female. Hello, Sir Fluffy. Hello. So she really is very important when we're talking about women pilots and women in the Air Force and so forth. So big name in aviation, but it's math and science, and some women are afraid to go into the math and sciences even now. So I wanted to make sure I highlighted a couple of people who had done just that. And she immediately came to mind. I learned about her at the museum and thought she was a really interesting figure. And one of the things that I like about traveling and doing road trips so much is the opportunity to learn about people and places and events that I've never heard of before. And frankly, I'm not ashamed to say that she was not known to me until I learned about her some at the Air and Space Museum. And I don't think that she's talked about in history as much, but she made a lot of advancements in terms of breaking records and so forth. And I thought she was worth mentioning. So, and by the way, I do women's trivia periodically, definitely for International Women's Day. So if you know of intriguing, bodacious women that you would like to see talked about right here on this program, let me know. My email address is Gayle at GayleCrabtree.com, spelled with a Y, Gayle. I don't think it's in the description box right now, but it will be. Okay. Just because I just realized that I think I forgot to add it when I was typing the description. Oops. Fail on my part. Yes, I'll give myself the air horn. Okay. Now, moving right along. Let's talk about authors. I don't know about you all, but I grew up watching the program Little House on the Prairie. It was a wholesome, family-oriented, great program. Ran lots of seasons, and I really liked it. So I was thinking about women authors, and that took me to another author And the reason I said Little House on the Prairie first is because a lot of people get this author confused with the woman who wrote Little House on the Prairie. So I kind of wanted to toss that out and say this is not Laura Ingalls Wilder, because that will be the first thing that comes to your mind. But the woman I'm talking about wrote the beloved children's book, Little Women. Little Women. And that was part of a series that did really, really well, also at a time when women weren't expected to be writers. So it's sort of like Wikipedia calls it a coming of age novel. It was actually written 2 volumes, 1968, so not too long after the Civil War. And it follows the lives of 4 sisters. Bonus points if you know the 4 sisters. Actually, they're just for bragging, so you won't get any points for that. But who wrote the book? Who wrote the book? We already know who didn't. So, just to give you some names here, Gertrude Ederle, Florence Nightingale, or Louisa May Alcott. Who did it? Who did it? Now, I tried to make it easy for you. I really did. They've made a movie out of the book. Lots of neat stuff there. So it's a novel for children. Like I said, published in 2 parts, 1968 and 69. And this woman's sister actually did the illustrations for it. So we had kind of a dynamic duo, 2 sisters in the same household. So here we go. Writing the beloved children's book is none other than Louisa May Alcott. Louisa May Alcott. That's who wrote the book, a very celebrated women's author. And there you go. Meg, Jo, Beth, and Amy March are the characters in the book. In the story, well, I don't want to give too much away about the story, but go read the book. Go read the book. Okay. Let's just say that this woman was raised in abject poverty. Her mother, Marmee, and her father was a chaplain, and they befriended some folks next door. But go read the book. I'll give you the link to it. Hey, Albert's in. Hey, it's good to see you. Good to see you. He's going to be helping me out some on Sunday nights. So there we go. Da-da-da-da. And if I can hit all the buttons. There we go. There we go. You're good. I'm glad you're good. I'm glad. So, okay, we are moving right along this week. Let me close some of this out. This next one's going to be a hard one, but y'all can handle it. I promise you, you can handle it. So, we're talking about science. Just want to encourage women, if you're thinking about going into STEM, if you're a kid who's watching it and you're thinking about science, technology, math, engineering, this next lady is for you. Which scientist discovered pulsars while she was still a student? While she was still a student, this scientist discovered pulsars. That was in 1967. She was a graduate student. Her name is either Audrey Hepburn, Jocelyn Bell Burnell, or Amelia Earhart. Tried to make the answers a little easy. Who could it be? Now, pulsars are sources of radio signals. And hey, John Off Grid. Hello, John. Welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. So we're doing some trivia tonight for International Women's Day. Woo! And we're talking about, hello, Sir Fluffy. Yes, my service dog, Sir Fluffy, is in here. He's a big old boy. Yeah. No, you can't eat that. You wouldn't, would you? Yeah, he would. He would. He would eat it. Anyway, she discovered pulsars, which are sources of, radio pulses. And let's see, Mountain Girl is in. Hey, Mountain Girl, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay. So the answer to this is Jocelyn Bell Burnell. Jocelyn Bell Burnell. I'm going to put the link in here. There we go. There we go. So I thought that pulsars were really interesting. I learned a little bit more about them when we were out at the VLA out in New Mexico, which VLA stands for Very Large Array. And this is this enormous array of listening devices. Let me see if I can pull this up. It's crazy how big it is. But it's these huge, massive satellite dishes out in New Mexico. And of course, I'm not finding it really quickly because I get this late breaking thought to put it in there. But they're huge. And it is a very large array. That's literally what they call it. Let's see if I can pull it up. And so there they go. There it is. And so it looks like something out of a science fiction movie. And you can go and they actually move. And so I don't know. Say hi to John. I will say hi to him. Hey, John. John says hi.
Oh, hey, John.
He says, oh, hey, John.
Sorry.
There we go. Very large array. So these items listen for all kind of radio signals. Part of them are pulsars. And she is the one that found them. And that helped lead to this. And it is huge. It spreads over many acres. And it's just a field with all of these in it. And you have to, like, they don't allow cell phones and things like that because they want everything to be super quiet to make sure that they're listening for the right signals. It kind of freaked me out a little bit, but I had a good time. So if you get a chance to go, just because it's fun. So, and let's see. Try to mix them up a little bit here. We are now going back to Hollywood. And this lady did some stuff that was a little controversial. She had a very fascinating life and was actually ranked by the American Film Institute as the third greatest female screen legend. And let's see, which Hollywood star became famous for films like Roman Holiday and Breakfast at Tiffany's? Was it Mae West, Audrey Hepburn, or Annie Oakley? Y'all are going to get this. Somebody has even already guessed this person's name. She has done a number of movies, and she's known to be a very classy lady, Belgian-born to aristocratic family. And so she always had what they call this air of sophistication about her. So, who might it be? Audrey Hepburn for the win. Who got it? Who got it? Ta-da! Albert got it. Busy Lady had guessed her earlier. And Mountain Girl didn't have a clue. It's okay, Mountain Girl. There'll be something on here you'll get. Something on here you'll get. But Audrey Hepburn was nominated for many, many awards, and she became an advocate for children worldwide who were starving. So she was really an advocate to help fix child hunger. And I'm going to put up a link for her. And I'm getting a link so y'all can read more about her. Fascinating individual. Absolutely fascinating. So there we go. Ta-da! Yeah, I think you'll be interested in reading about her. I'll go ahead and share that screen. Audrey Hepburn. I'm just pulling up Britannica really quickly. Belgian-born British actress, known for her beauty, which we know. The air of sophistication that I mentioned. Yep, they got that in there. And she wanted to aid children in need. So that's where she was, doing her work to help end child hunger. Later adopted the more aristocratic surname Hepton Rooston. Dutch Baroness Ella van Hamstra and Joseph Victor Anthony Rooston, who later changed his name. She had British citizenship through her father. So there you go. There you go. So do check her out just because she's such a, she's another lady that's just kind of an odd individual. Oh, I'm glad. I am glad. We've got warm weather too, but Thursday it's supposed to snow. Can y'all believe that? I am like so over it with the snow. I could just, I'm not a snow person. No. Thursday it's supposed to snow here. Same day I'm supposed to head to Kansas. Go figure. All right. So this next one is another one that's not really known much. And I'm trying to mix it up with women who are famous and women who have done some amazing things who are not famous, but should be. Or maybe I should say they're not household names, and they should be. It's supposed to stay warm there. Good for you. Maybe we should all just go hit up at your house. I'm supposed to be heading to Kansas. So who knows what the weather's going to be. We have been joined by Pipsy, who's also leaving. Hello, Pipsy. Goodbye, Pipsy. All right, that's my other service dog who is going to be transitioning into becoming a therapy dog. For those of you who do not know, Pipsy features in my books, the Pipsy series. So I've got Pipsy Goes to Service Dog School, and then I've got Service Dog Pipsy Helps After a Hurricane. There'll be another book coming out later this year. The Hurricane book is the one that's right now the most special to me because it's all about our story after the hurricane. And we have Sir Fluffy here who arrived in October, and so they have become buds. Yes, I do love Alaska. Yes, I will. Yeah, I do love Alaska. And I would move to Alaska if I could. But my husband's like, no. I don't understand why. Lots of really great people up there. Lots of really, really great people. Now, Sir Fluffy, my new service dog, would absolutely love it. But, maybe it's not for my husband. I do have a funny picture I just pulled up. My daughter and I went to Alaska a few years ago in February. This is the picture of her. Yes, this is my youngest daughter. This is not Stellar Piper. But she is standing and the snow is taller than her. Now, in her defense, yes, the snow is high. This is actually where they scraped it up after, scraping the parking lot. So it's always a lot taller than, it's ever going to be anywhere. And she's also short. So that makes it a little bit more dramatic, shall we say. So, yeah. And ironically, okay, I will just have you all know that just for grins and giggles, it was cold and snowy when I left home to go to Alaska. And it was cold and snowy in Alaska, but warmer than it was here. Is that not crazy? Oh, just the way life goes, just the way it goes. But yeah, I would go to Alaska and live there in a heartbeat. And John, if I ever do, you guys got to come join us. You got to come see us. Liz with John, he doesn't like the cold weather. Mountain Girl is like, no. This is actually a very big day for Alaska. Iditarod started today. So yay for the Iditarod. Yeah, that started, and they'll be, usually about 10, 11 days, sometimes 9. So, yeah, I'll be following them. And you guys would never run the Iditarod. You guys don't hardly ever run for anything. Hey, why do you have my blanket? Oh, well. Anyway, I think we're going to go back. We're going to go back to our regular programming. Hey, go find Dad. Go annoy Dad. Yeah, go find Dad. You want to? What do you want to do? Yeah, go annoy him. Yay. John off grid. My speaker went dead. Oh, no. No. They are not. We're talking about the fact that you won't move to Alaska.
There's mosquitoes there.
There is mosquitoes there, but not everywhere. Oh, well. John off-grid says, I'm from Livingston County, Michigan, where they have the ski lodge, but too cold. Okay, gotcha. So, okay. But yeah, very big day for Alaska today. And I almost put in some names of women who had run the Iditarod, but I was afraid that a bunch of you would not have ever heard of any of them. So I will, however, just say, go Millie, go Millie. Millie Porsley. I met her when I was in Alaska. She's one of the mushers up there that I met. Really neat lady. But anyway, back to the program. Which American woman swam the English Channel in 1926, becoming the first woman to do so? Was it Florence Nightingale, Julia Child, or Gertrude Ederle? Okay, Julia Child, Gertrude Ederle, or Beatrix Potter. Dun, dun, dun. She also competed in the Olympics, if that helps. Okay. 1, 2, and it is Gertrude Ederle. I'll put the link here, and I will also pull her up online. Dun, dun. Gertrude Ederle competed in the 1924 Olympics and became the first woman to swim across the English Channel 2 years later in 1926. Champion swimmer by her late teens. And her record-breaking achievement brought her a period of fame and acclaim. And then later she taught, and this is what was really interesting to me. She taught swimming at a school for children who were deaf. And that's one of the things that spoke to me about her, because not only was she doing these huge achievements, but she rolled those and she found a way to bring those achievements into a way that helped other people. And I just thought that was really, really cool. So anyway, I put the link down, or I'm putting the link down. No, I put it. I'm just going to put her down too the second time. Okay, Mountain Girl says, oh, hey, Spider-Man the Hero's in. Hey, Spider-Man. Welcome. Let's see who else we got. Okay, Beatrix Potter was a good guess, but we are going to talk about her in just a little bit, so save that name. Spider-Man says it's still cold there. Is it still cold there? LOL, it's 64 degrees. It is nice and warm right now. However, that's going to change, and we're going to get snow, of all things, on Thursday, which really sucks. It's supposed to be warm during the day, but it's going to be cold that night. And we all know it doesn't rain at like 30 degrees. So, yeah. Early morning, rain and snow at a whopping 29 degrees. Go figure. Go figure. So anyway, I'm over it with the snow. So if you were the person who ticked off Mother Nature, please send her chocolates and apologize. It's okay, Mountain Girl. You're still diving in. We're getting characters from the big character, Spider-Man the Hero. Saw a lady talking about in a video, free property tax in Alaska. Alaska doesn't have taxes. I don't know about property tax, but that's pretty cool if they don't. But I know they don't have like sales tax and things like that, because they actually have this reverse situation where instead of paying taxes, you actually get a check every year if you're an Alaska resident. So that's because they have so many oil companies that they pay the freight. They do the taxing. So, yeah. Yep. Which would be neat. I'd love to move to Homer, Alaska, though. That is on the very tip of Homer Spit. And anyway, I could talk about that forever. If y'all want me to talk about Alaska for like 12 hours straight, let me know, because believe me, I can do it. I freaking love that town. Sorry, I did pick that. All good. Okay, let's see here. Oh, yes. This is one that y'all are going to guess, and I'm not even going to give you a multiple choice on this one, because you all are going to guess it, because this lady is not only a nice lady in person on the screen and so forth, but she's just a nice lady all around. Her influence has literally impacted worldwide in a very positive way. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Spider-Man says, yeah, talk about Alaska for 89 hours. I said 12. That's 12. I can do 12. I don't know about 89. I got to sleep sometime. So, all right. I'm going to toss this out there. Which Tennessee-born country music star created the Imagination Library, a program that has given millions of free books to children? She has also done a tremendous number of songs. She's a star. She owns an amusement park in her home county of Sevier County, Tennessee, and has been singing since she was a little kid. Let's see. Mountain Girl says, we want to move to Alabama at some point. Too much going on here. Drama, drugs. We want to get away from it. Don't blame you. I would want to get away from drama and drugs too. There's so much of that worldwide. Yes, Rowan, we have our Holman, Dolly Parton. Yay! Yay for Dolly. Woo! Dolly is an amazing, amazing person. She's just when she has given out scholarships. For those of you who do not know, Sevier County, Tennessee did not have a high literacy rate and they had a lot of poverty. So, and Dolly herself took some inspiration from some ladies of the evening as far as how she dressed because they were getting lots of attention. And she decided that wasn't always a bad thing. So she took elements of that style. She has done, like, Sevier County used to not have a really high literacy rate, but she came in and she was like, okay, we need jobs. So theme park used to be Silver Dollar City, then it became Dollywood, and a lot of us were like, why is she buying a theme park? And of course, now she owns lots of other businesses. And then she was like, what can we do about literacy? And she gave scholarships to the folks there in Sevier County. And she took it a step further and said, what else can we do? And then she started the Imagination Library, which has spread globally to help raise the literacy rates. Amazing person, an amazing person. Grew up dirt poor, came from nothing, and has created an empire. They also support lots of nonprofits through the East Tennessee area, especially if you're a county that connects to Sevier County. So, yeah. Used to work for a nonprofit, and they would give us tickets to like various attractions to auction off when we requested them. Really, really nice. Let's see here. Oh, that's cool, Mountain Girl. Yep, Dollywood, absolutely. Your brother met Dolly Parton? Oh, I'm jealous. I am jealous. I've seen her, but I've not gotten to meet her. I keep hoping one day. That is so cool. I would, yeah, I'm with you. I'm jealous too. That's amazing. Okay. Yeah, I could brag about Dolly Parton almost for 12 hours. Because, I mean, it's like, what I've always thought, like, what would I do if I ever won the lottery and really big, like Powerball big win? And that would be to go to a little county that needed help and say, okay, what can we do to boost the standard of living? What kind of infrastructure do you need? And things like that. So, yeah. And then here she is. She's a lady who actually did that, which I just think is super cool. But anyway, getting a little off topic because, like, that's what I do, right? Okay, we're going to go back. Back. Okay. We'll pull this up. Now, this is a woman from history also. So, Mountain Girl, you might surprise yourself on what you know. I hope so. But if not, it's okay. This woman, which famous nurse became known as the Lady with the Lamp for caring for wounded soldiers during the Crimean War? Okay. Which famous nurse became known as the Lady with the Lamp for caring for wounded soldiers during the Crimean War? Was it Julia Child, can't talk, Rose O'Neal Greenhow, or Mary Surratt, or Florence Nightingale? Okay, you get an extra one there. Which one might it be? I'll go ahead and tell you. Florence Nightingale. Florence Nightingale. And I'll pull her up too. Because she was called the lady with the lamp because she went around with a lamp caring for soldiers. And this was at a time like she pioneered the career of nursing. She pioneered the whole like healthcare field. She wrote books. She wrote pamphlets, all sorts of things. Born in Italy, but she was English. So anyway, let me put this link down here. And let's see, I was saying they also changed Children's Hospital now to the Dolly Parton Hospital. That's in Knoxville, Tennessee. They did. And I hope they've improved things. We spent entirely too much time in East Tennessee Children's Hospital when my kids were growing up. So hopefully it'll be better. Let's see. I keep hitting the wrong things here. Is it doing any better or still bad? If you're talking about children's, I won't go there too much. But anyway, from the damage from the weather. We still have, I tell you what, I'll talk more about this going toward the end of the stream. Let me get the questions done. I do have a video that you should see that just went up yesterday. And it's about some of the progress that we made. So it's got some things from like the immediate aftermath to photos that are more recent. But anyway, we'll get to that. Let me make a note, and then I forget, remind me, okay? These guys got to remind me. Nope, it's not Julia Child. It's Florence Nightingale, and I was going to post a link. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Oh, wait, I did post it. Oh, well, I just posted it twice. She's amazing. I want to share the screen, too, on her, just so you can know a little bit more about her. 1820 to 1910. So she even took care of, soldiers actually through several wars there. Born in Italy, and while her family was traveling, both Florence and her older sister, Parthenope, I'm not even going to even begin to pronounce that, named after the Italian cities where they were born. But she was English, and they returned to England. And nursing was not a respected profession. It was not. And so it was not only low on the totem pole, but it was not respected. So there was like no energy put into nursing. The health care that was provided was only men, often doctors, often surgeons. And as you can imagine, that led to a lot of problems with infections, illnesses, and so forth, because there wasn't enough people to run around taking care of folks with the multiple levels of healthcare that we have today. So the Crimean War hit in like the mid 1850s, and she saw the need and met it, much to her family's dismay. So yeah, really just fascinating. All right. John knew the answer. Good for you, John. Good for you. John's a smart guy. All right. Okay. Ta-da-da. Which beloved children's author created the mischievous character Peter Rabbit? Was it Julia Child, O'Neill Greenhow, or Beatrix Potter? Beatrix Potter was mentioned earlier. I said we would circle back to her, and we just did. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. The beloved children's author who created Peter Rabbit was none other than Beatrix Potter. So there you go. And I'll get that link for you. And of course, she has spawned a whole big bunch of books. Born in 1866, so just a couple of years after the Civil War, and lived until 1943. So here we go. So that's Beatrix Potter. I'm going to put the link there so you can learn more about her. She was just really interesting because she, again, she was an author at a time when women weren't. That was not one of the super respectable positions, although it was getting to be more respected than in the time of that, like Pride and Prejudice was written and so forth. So yeah. And I'll post a link later after the live stream where you can download the characters that we're talking about, or not characters, people that we're talking about. Okay. Hey. Hi, Lady Sky. Welcome. We're glad you're here. We're glad you're here. So sit back and enjoy the live stream. Please don't forget to give me a like on the live stream, you all. Everybody here. Give me that like because it matters. So thanks. Okay, now our next person on the list is also a little bit more modern. Let me take myself off of the highlighted thing there. There we go. There we go. Okay, this woman is a little bit more modern, so you may not need any guessing because I bet a bunch of you all are going to know. But which famous chef introduced French cooking to American audiences through her television show, The French Chef? Okay, which famous chef introduced French cooking to American audiences through her television show, The French Chef? Was that A, Julia Child? Was it Nona Pia? Or was it Gertrude Ederle? You know the answer to the riddle. Which one? Which riddle? It was indeed Julia Child. Julia Child. Julia Child was a French chef, and she is the one that kind of pioneered cooking on television. I'm going to put a link to her down right there in the description box. Some people just simply call her the French chef. I didn't know that until I was doing the research on the questions. I'm gonna pull her up too. She put her biography link. Became a household name via the groundbreaking cookbook, Mastering the Art of French Cooking. Oh, Mountain Girl said she knew. She watched cooking shows. There you go. There you go. Good job. Good job. And I will share this screen. There we go. TV chef and author Julia Child became a household name via the groundbreaking, I think I just said that, Mastering the Art of French Cooking, and her popular show, The French Chef. After attending culinary school in France, she collaborated on the book, Mastering the Art of French Cooking. That became a bestseller upon its 1961 publication. So there you go. Born Julia McWilliams, it says, August 15, 1912 in Pasadena. Eldest of 3 children. family accumulated significant wealth, and she lived a privileged childhood. So then she enrolled in school in Northampton, Massachusetts, and from there, we know the rest is history. So, yeah, go take a peek at her. Really interesting person. All right. Let's see back in there. Hey, Victoria. Hi, welcome. It's good to see you, Victoria. Okay, let's see here. Where else are we going? Okay, we're going to switch gears just a little bit. A lot of people are still fascinated to have an interest in the Civil War. But did you all know that there were spies in the Civil War that were women? Yes, women were spies. Some of them were spies during the Civil War. So we got to toss in two. We got two more questions here. We've got to talk about which Confederate spy used her social connections in Washington, D.C. to gather information from Union officials and pass it to the South. Was it Rose O'Neal Greenhow, Florence Nightingale, or Mary Surratt? Who was it? Who was it? Confederate spy using her social connections in Washington, D.C. to gather information from Union officials and pass it to the South. See? Is it C? It was Rose O'Neal Greenhow. Rose O'Neal Greenhow. Yeah, I'm going to pull her up. My doggie's knocking at the door. If he lets himself in, we won't be surprised. Oh, all right. Let me pull it up again. I don't know what happened there. I'm just going to go, okay, American Battlefield Trust. I'll share that link instead. Okay. So there's the link down there. I'm going to share it here. One I had bookmarked is no longer there. So that's kind of a different scenario. I've not had that one happen before. You never know, though. Never know. Okay, so Rose O'Neal Greenhow was the American spy. She had Confederate leanings. Born in obscurity, they say, but she went on to become one of the most powerful women in Washington, which this says, unfortunately, for the federal government. So she was born on a small farm in Montgomery County, Maryland. Maryland did go south. It did have Confederate leanings. So she went by the name Rose, which she continued to. Moved to Washington, this says around the age of 13 or 14, became fascinated with the Washington socialite scene and attempted to gain acceptance, but was marked for what they perceived to be her low birth. She apparently married well, married someone who was working for the federal government, and then later she became a spy. And I don't want to give too much up of her, so you guys can check her out. Just really fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Which brings us to our final question. Which woman operated a boarding house in Washington, D.C. that became a meeting place for Confederate agents and spies? Was it Mary Surratt, Gertrude Ederle, or Julia Child? And I am trying to make, even though I'm giving you multiple choices, I am trying to make it a little bit easier for you. Who could it be? Who could it be? Mary Surratt, Julia Child or Gertrude Ederle? Mary Surratt. Mary Surratt. Yay, Mary Surratt. Got it. Victoria got it. Mountain Girl got it. Y'all are good. You all are good. So Mary Surratt, of course, I'm going to share this too. Age 17, Mary Jenkins married John Harrison Stewart, which he was a landowner, so she married what they would consider to be well. But there was a fire that destroyed their home, so the couple opened a tavern, which also served as their residence. John Surratt had fallen into debt, partially because of the fire, partially because of starting a new business. So the couple's youngest son, John, had to help run the tavern. And during the war, it was used for passing secrets. So Mary was actually arrested at one point with Lewis Payne, and he's the one that wounded William Seward. William Seward, of course, is a name known to history. And all of the defendants there were found guilty. So I'm going to drop this link in the chat. It's fascinating, her story, just because, part of this success that she had was because women weren't expected to be spies. So, ta-da! There you go. Oh, you do. Mountain Girl says, I know a little bit of stuff. There you go. Good for you. Good for you, Mountain Girl. All right, so I try to keep this to about an hour, and we've gone a little over. Sorry. Please forgive me for that. But I hope you've had a good time. And somebody brought up the hurricanes. I'm going to close with that. We still have a lot of houses, a lot of homes, a lot of people's lives that are still being worked on. I would love to say that we were completely finished, but we're a year and a half out, and I'm not even sure that we're like at the midway point. It's been really tough. My husband and I were not one of the families that's necessarily directly affected. I mean, yeah, we have a tree that needs some tree work, but that's nothing. I mean, you really can't say we're affected. The video that I have out that just came out, y'all should take a look at that one. It's called After Helene. Even a service dog answered the call, and there are clips of some things that service dog Pipsy did during the hurricane. There is a meeting that we're at, and it's like later in the video, and we're at a meeting, and there's just this photo of him as he is leaning over and he's sniffing me. He's actually checking for low blood sugar. There was also several things that I dropped here and there. So I have some little videos of him bringing stuff to me. But we had a massive tree, 200, 300 years old. It was the oldest tree in the state. So it took that down, and they finally, a couple of months ago, got that, well, I guess about 4 months ago now, got that pretty well cleaned up. But as far as houses, I want to say that we have 160 open cases. Then there are folks who just have not filed, have not checked into the long-term recovery group. So they're not on the list. There are people who are still finding out about the Johnson County Long-Term Recovery Group. And then there are folks like us who, we just need a little bit of work done. But it's been really tough. I will say that this area, this is not the first disaster that my husband and I have been in, but it is the first time that we have seen an entire community come together like this one has to help each other out. And that was it from like day one, even just a few hours after the storm. We were told to expect low-lying areas to flood. We weren't told to expect massive problems. And then I think that Thursday during the day before Helene came in, I think is when they were really, talking about trying to get a Red Cross shelter open, just in case. And wow, they don't even know how many inches of rainfall we actually got in this county, which is kind of scary actually. But through that, you know, we've had lots and lots of work to do. We still have people who need their culverts replaced. We still have people who are not in the greatest housing situations. So if you all are listening to this and you have skills and you're looking to spend a week somewhere or a few days and you can come and help us, email me because we can use the help. If you're a church that has a mission team, or if you're a social group that has a team, we can use you. So the expectation is that it will take 5 years roughly to recover from Hurricane Helene. Some people are saying we can do it in less. I think it's going to be 5 years. Just because there's so much work still to be done. I cannot explain to you how much work there is still to be done. And like I said, people are walking in all the time. And so the book that I mentioned about the dog helping after the hurricane, it's Service Dog Pipsy Helps After a Hurricane. It's our actual story. We spent in 30 days, we spent 3,500 miles going and getting supplies and bringing them back in. And my social media folks, you all came through in multiple spades to help me get those supplies and bring them in. But we still have lots of work to be done. We still have roofs with tarps on them. We still have houses that are they just need a lot of help. Yeah, if you're with a mission team or a group and you have skills and you're able to come up here for a weekend or several days or a week, we would love to have you. So do email me. Mountain Girl, thank you for coming in. It was great seeing you too. Yes, a lot of people still need help. He's echoing that. And he says, yeah, we were first ones in the shelter, and that was on the day before it hit. So I did not hear about the shelter until later. But we were all, nobody was expecting it. Were you? I wasn't expecting it. And then when we started getting alerts on the phones, our phones, like all across the county, all across Northeast Tennessee and stuff, our phones, all communications went down. There was no internet. There was no cell phone service. There was no landlines. There was no TV service. Everything was down. The only information you got was from word of mouth, neighbor to neighbor kind of thing. So, yeah. So if you all are where you can, do come sometime and help. And if you want to buy my book, all the profits on that, they're going to the long-term recovery group. For right now, I was saying that anything sold in Johnson County would go to the long-term recovery group. But if you're here and you're listening to this and you do want to buy the book, just let me know and I will make sure I give those profits to the recovery group. All right. So I want to thank you all for coming. Thank you all for hanging out. It has been a great time. Like I said, I usually try to keep it to an hour, but we did go over just a little bit. But I appreciate your time. Don't forget to give me a like on the live stream, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. So thanks for watching. Go out, be bodacious, Don't let life get in the way of living. And I will see you I'll have some videos up later this week, but we do live streams Sunday nights, 7 p.m. And we're always glad to see you. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next week, Sunday, 7 p.m. And that is Eastern time. Good night, everyone. Good night.